that sounds good. Or seems good.
How's that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Great. Jeremy Merrill, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I'm a little nervous. Okay, well, I got an obsession. I can't believe that this obsession hasn't been talked about yet, because it's like it seems like it must have been talked about by somebody before. But this one is since I was probably about 7 years old, maybe. Star Trek. Yeah, it was, and you know, it was bad. It was really bad. I spent probably well, the better part of my childhood from about maybe 7 to about let's say about 17. And I was running around in the woods with a swing line stapler. I'm 36, and this swing line stapler would flip open, and I could go doo-doo-doo. Kirk to Enterprise. Beam me up, Scotty. And I really believed that it would happen. And I was so obsessed with Star Trek. I had models. I watched all the TV shows. I had the first comic book from Star Trek: The Next Generation because I was so excited when it was coming out, and I was kind of disappointed when it came out, but that's okay. You know, it was Star Trek: The Next Generation, so it was better than nothing. You know? It got better. Yeah, it got better. I've seen all the Star Trek episodes. All right, I gotta be straight with you guys. I've seen every Star Trek movie, every episode. I never saw the animated series. Then what else happened? Well, my best friend and I were total Star Trek nerds. We were referred to as such in school, all the way up until my freshman year in high school. And the only physical fight that I got into in high school, or in school pretty much, well, not the only one, but the only one that of any real significance in my mind, revolved around Star Trek. And I was repeatedly called a Star Trek nerd, and I finally said, you know what, I've had it. And I went after some kid and in the locker room and told him that I'm not a Star Trek nerd, and I pummeled him with my fists, and I don't know if I even landed a blow or anything like that, but it was just, anyway, it was very, looking back on it, it was very embarrassing. The whole Star Trek debacle, I mean, I don't even know how to describe what it did for me, though. I mean, what I need to describe, I need to put some kind of understanding, you know, so the people who, because there's a lot of people who don't understand Star Trek. You know, they're like, Star Trek, you know, what is it? You know, a bunch of Klingons and Klingons circling Uranus. You know, I mean, you know, it's a bunch of nerd stuff. It's people who dress up in costumes and go to conventions. But like for me, as a child, it was an escape. It was a place where I could go. That I feel like I'm gonna freaking cry. It was like a place where like everybody was equal, where there was like there was no money. Everybody was smart and flew around in spaceships talking to other aliens. You know, it was, and looking back on it, man, that was freaking enlightened for a 7-year-old. You know, I was surprised. I was surprised myself. And I don't know, you know, I gave it all up. I gave up most of the Star Trek stuff. I you know, sold all my crap and gave up my models and stuff. When I got older, because it just didn't seem cool enough anymore. And it's something that only recently I've kind of like dabbled in a little bit, you know, to try and kind of see where it came from. I don't know. You know, I know a lot about obsession from my own my own personal experience, and not just in Star Trek, but in other things that are more difficult to talk about. But I'll stick with Star Trek for right now. The greatest thing about it, though, I think was just the original show. No, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot more to say, but it was definitely an obsession. Thanks.